Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We have been seeing some fantastic and fantabulous ideas of Ramanathapuram Sri C.S. Murugaboopathy sirs. We are going to see some more thoughtful and brilliant ideas in the next 2 episodes. Before I get into the class, I'll start this class with a Tirukkural. Seruvanda பொழுதில் சிறை செய்யா வேந்தன் வெறுவந்து வெய்துகிடும். What is the meaning of it? போர் வருவதற்கு முன்பாகவே பாதுகாப்பு ஏற்பாடுகளை செய்து கொள்ளாத வேந்தன். Before he gets and faces the war, he should anticipate the war. He should ensure that he should be well prepared. And if he is not well prepared, let's see what happens. அது வரும்பொழுது பாதுகாப்பு இல்லாமல் அஞ்சி விரைவில் அழிவான். So when the actual war comes, he may not know what to do, and he will destroy by himself. And that's the crux of this Tirukkural. With this good thought, we will enter into the class. In continuation with the last class, there is an approach for Ganda Tishram also. How it can be done is, explain you what it is. Tadit tadit junut tagang taga digi taga tarigadum ta. Here, when you decipher the 2 compartments, tadit tadit junut tagang. Tadit tadit junu is 10, tagang is 5. So 15 aksharas is the first part. Because you are doing the Ganda Tishram, tantadin 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 tantadin. So it's a 15. For that 15, you are forming this phrase. Tantadin 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 junutta tadin tantadin 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 junutta tantadin junutta agatti gittagat tantadin 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 agatti gittagat tagatti gittagat tarigadum. What is taga tigi taga is 12, tarigadum is 3, 12 plus 3 is 15, taga tigi tarigadum. So it's 7.5 split is happening. So you have to understand this. First half, taga tigi kigi tarigadum. So that's the second half. So when you play in Ganda Tishram, tantadin 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 junutta tadin tantadin 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 junutta tadin tantadin 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 junutta tadin junutta tadin junutta tadin junutta agatti tagatradadin tadin junutta tadin junutta tadin junutta agatti tagatradadin junutta agatti tagatradadin junutta agatti tagatradadin junutta agatti tagatradadin. So the approach for Ganda Tishram is by making it as simple as possible. Actually, it's easy to represent. It's the same concept, but you are forming the phrase in such a way to tell it easily. So when you play it, it becomes very lucid and it's grippy, and it's easier to approach it as well. And I also wanted to tell some of the salient features of how he uses the abstract tirmanams. Tataka din, tatakita, taka din, that tom da, tataka din, tatakita, taka din, that tom, tataka din, that tom. So this is a 16-beat akshara, tirman. Let's look at how Murugaboopathy plays a tirman. Ta-dum, ta-dum, ta-ta, dum, ta-dum, ta. Takata, dum, ta-dum, 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 ta-dum. Takata, di, ta, dum, dum, takita. So it's so brilliant. No? Here, if you look at the decipher and understand it, that's where you will enjoy how beautifully it's formed. Tadum, tadum, tha. 8 is converted as tadum, tadum, tha. 3, 4, and 1. Tadum, tadum, tha. Tadum, 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 ta, dum, tadum, tak, dum, tadum, ta. So tak, dum is 5, 2, tadum is 3. 5, 3, 2, 3 is again 8. Tadum, tadum, ta. 3, 4, 1. Tak, dum, tadum, 3, 2, 3. 8 plus 8 becomes an 8, 16. Tadum, ta, dum, ta, ta, dum, tadum, ta. Then Taka, he adds taka in, just to give a push for the next phrase. Takata, dum da dum. Ta, dum da dum, ta, dum da dum, ta dum da dum, ta dum. Ta, dum da dum, 3, 2, 3. Ta dum da dum, ta dum, 3, 3, 2. Ta. Takata, di, ta, takadimi, takita. Last phrase is 9 plus 7. So, he interestingly makes creations of 16 akshara in different forms and try to combine and gives a complete abstract look to the Tirman. This is one of his, that's why some of the people say they don't understand him or understand. Actually, he takes a simple thing and expresses it in an abstract form. That's what his learning is. Again, another interesting Tirmanam, there are many such things, but I am giving you the crux of it. Tadum, tangirada, darigada, tadum, tangirada, darigada, tadum, tadiketatum. When it ends very beautifully, but when he starts, ta, tadum, tangirada, tha. Normally people give karvai 3, 2, 4. Here he gives 7 karvais. Ta, tadum, tangirada, tha. Tadum, tangirada, tha. Tadum, tadiketatum, tadiketatum. This takademitakita, tadum, that gives the push to the next phrase. All those are brilliant in this approach. Towards the end, it becomes beautiful. So here, ta, tadum, tangirada, you can also change tangirada can be as a midpoint. Tit tangirada you can use. Takatarigadaka you can use another phrase, and you can make it as 3 different tirmanams. It gives a scope for improvement. So these are abstract tirmanams I wanted to talk here. The next important thing I wanted to table here is the Tissananade Korvai, what he taught, is one of the classic things. Takita jom tarita, ta jom tarita, tataka dinata, dum dum, tatakita jom tarita, ta jom tarita, tataka dinata, dum dum, takita jom tarita, dum dum, tatakita jom tarita, dum dum, takita jom tarita, takita jom tarita, kita jom, tatakita jom, ta jom, tadimita kita ta. Kita tari kita dum ta, kita dum ta kita jum ta jum tadimita kita ta. Kita tari kita dum ta, kita jum ta kita jum tadimita kita ta. Kita tari kita dum ta dimita kita ta. Kita tari kita dum ta dimita kita ta. Kita tari kita dum ta. That's how the approach is. But especially this Korvai is a 64-beat Korvai. The beauty of this Korvai is if you reduce ta ta jum ta rita, ta jum ta rita, ta ta ka dinata, dun dung. 8 aksharas if you cut. 8 from 64, if you reduce 8, it's 56. The same Korvai can be played for, without this first part, can be played for Misra Chapel. 7 into 8 is 56. Second, tatakita jum terita, tajum terita, tataka dinata, dun dung. If you cut this part, from 56, if you cut 8, it becomes 48. You can play in Rupakatalam. Takita jum terita, dun dung, tatakita jum terita, dun dung. If you cut this part, 48 becomes 40. You can play in Gandachapatalam. So how nicely it's constructed. This is called I probably know he has understood the OOPS concept before, reusable components. Like he has used the components in such a way, if you just take one component out, you play Misra Chapel. If you take 2 components out, you play in Rupakatalam. If you take 3 components out, you play Ganda Chapatalam. And if you take 4 components out, you can again play in Aditalam for 32 beats. Such a beautifully constructed Korvai. See, it's Korvai everybody knows. But the beauty is the way he has constructed it and how the same thing can be represented in other forms. He has thought over it. That's the brilliance behind this Korvai. Now again, getting into the this Tisaranadai, you uses it brilliantly. So, as you play the Chadusram, suddenly you come to this point, then he expresses the last part alone in Tisram. Takidadum, Tadakidadum, Tadum, Dadum, Tadimidakidakita, Tadikadakidadum, Tadakidadum, Tadum, Dadum, Tadimidakidakita, Tadikadakidadum, Tadakidadum, Tadum, Dadum, Tadimidakidakita, Tadikadakidakita, Tadikadakidakita, Tadikadakidakita. So, immediately uses the Korvai, uses the migration into Tisaranadai, and then gets into Tisaranadai. So, these are all the possible ways by which a person can actually think so brilliantly and play this Korvai in different forms. Also, this 64 beat you can play in higher form, 32 beats. If you play in higher speed, it gives a reverberant effect, and you can play for 3 times. And that gives magnificent effect, and you can also get into Tisaranadai and play in much more larger grandeur. So that's the scope of all these Korvai here. So these are all the learnings which I found very, very interesting. The next approach was I wanted to teach you is when I introduced quite frequently. Then Ullangai use panni pandrathu. That is using your palm. Then outer and inside. Outside and inside. So he uses these prayogas quite frequently. Then these are all the very salient features of his. Then in Sarvalagu, again he uses the Vidvat here. understand what is this, but why the same thing is repeated. It's not the same thing. Tatadim, 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 ta, tatadim, tatadim, tatadim. Ta tatadim, 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 ta tatadim, 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 takita tatadim, 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 takadina tatadim, tatadim, ta dun dun, good tatadim, 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 kita tatadim, tatadim, dun dun tatadim, 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 dun dun dun, good tatadim, tatadim, ta dun dun, good tatadim, 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 takita. So, as he is playing the Sarvalagu, he introduces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the beauty, and then nobody, you will not feel that he is introducing, because his Sarvalagu is maintained in such a beautiful way, and it will not be obvious to you that he is doing something. It sounds beautiful. So, these are all the very, very salient features of Murugaboopathy sir's teachings. And then, as I told you, Takatari Ketataka. He plays like this. Tat tang kita tega tari kita tega. He plays like this. He uses the left phrase. Whatever we play, he plays on the left side, and then he also plays together. These are all those very, very magical effects he produces, and he mastered those. Spent a lot of hours in doing it. It's a little tough, but I'm just trying to give you the heads up on what are all the teachings I learned from him. So these are the essentials I want to put across. I'll see you in the next class with a conclusive episode with few interesting moras what he taught me, and then with that I'll conclude the legendary Mridangam Vidwan's ideas. I'll conclude this class with a Tirukkural. Kalla pinikkum kadungol adu alladhu illai nilaikku porai. What is the meaning of it? Kodungol aatchi moodargaliye thanakku thunayakki kollum. If a person is having an administration which is very cruel in nature, obviously the people around them are not wisest of wise people. They are people with very bad thoughts. Nilathirkku chumai idupol ver edum illai. And Thiruvalluvar compares to this Tirukkural, the weight on this earth is because of these people. They need not live with this sort of an attitude, with this sort of a nature. And that's the crux of this Tirukkural. Let's ponder over this good thought, and I'll conclude this class. I'll see you in the next class with wonderful ideas of legendary Mridangam Vidwan, Ramanathapuram Sri C.S. Murugaboopathy.